Hey guys, it's John with CheatSheetPros.com, and today we're going to take a look at how to upload our projections to Fantasy Cruncher Lite, and then I'm also going to have a couple tips on uploading different projections, and then just show you a couple of the basic tools with FC Lite that some people have asked me about. So open up your NBA cheat sheet. We'll go ahead and get started. You want to have a second tab here to copy and paste your upload stuff. You can paste it directly into Fantasy Cruncher, but while I'm showing you the tutorial, I want to show you kind of what it looks like and what you're uploading. And then open up Cruncher. So if you come up here, you're going to go to NBA, you're going to go to DraftKings, and then this is what it looks like on the open page. And you can see right here is upload data. So once you click that, it's very simple. You put in the player name and the projection. I don't mess with these two, but you just copy and paste it in here and hit upload. Simple as that. So let's do it a couple of times so you can see what we are doing. So the easiest way to do this on the sheet is to go over here to the grade tab. And I don't think you can see that on your screen, so let me scroll this up here. Okay, so the grade tab is down here. It's in black. So we're going to click grade. Let me lower this back down. That got too big for me. Oh, I got really big. Come back. All right. So first you want your player names. So just copy, highlight them all, hit Control-C. That's going to copy them out. Then we're going to come over here to our other Excel page. And when you go to paste, I prefer doing this under paste values, this middle one. See if you do it in other places, like here it'll give you some formulas, which it'll reference out because it can't grab them. Here it's going to give you some background colors and formatting. So just paste values, this middle one, to get the raw data just as it is. And then for the projections, our kind of main industry projections are right here. So the simplest way is same thing, just highlight it, Control-C for copy, come back over here, paste. We're going to go to paste values, this middle column, and then highlight both columns and just hit Control-C. Now we've got our name and our projections. When we come back over here to Cruncher, we're going to go to upload data, and it's got our name. Just click in this first box and hit Control-V. That's the hotkey for paste. And you can see it puts in all of our names and the projections. And just hit upload. Now it turns green, so everybody was in here. And then you can see here in the projection column, it turns red if it's less, green if it's more. And then you can sort by value. So now you can see the guys you uploaded, who are the best value plays based on your upload. Now, the biggest question you're going to get is, what if there is an error? So let's say James Wiseman, you put Jim Wiseman. Let's say you're grabbing projections from somewhere and the name's different. When you click upload, it's going to pop up and say, hey, one name had a problem, Jim Wiseman. Just click OK. All the other names and projections uploaded, so you're fine. So you can go here and go, oh yeah, it's James Wiseman. You can correct that one and hit upload and it will fix. Some of the ones you might see are like Derrick Jones and then Derrick Jones Jr. I've seen Derrick Jones Jr. with a period. A lot of juniors, periods, the second, the third. I typically run into that a lot with golf and some with football. But just fix the ones you miss or delete them out, either way. And then we're going to come in here. So let's look at a couple lineups. So I'm just going to set this to run one lineup. And down here, this is what's important. You can optimize by my projections or Fantasy Cruncher projections. And then you can also see they've got ceiling, floor, and average. I don't really mess with those. So let's look at the FC projections, calculate one. All right, this is going to give us a lineup here. I did mess with the settings a little bit, so it's not exactly what it would spit out. Well, here, I can go back and change it real quick. I was doing this in a different video. All right, so this is going to spit out, let's try it again. All right, so we're going to spit out one on the Cruncher lineup, and we get LeBron, Davis, kind of a little mix. Tonight's just a 4-game slate, so it's going to be a lot on the same team. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to go to my projections, and we're going to see, okay, you can see it spits out a completely different lineup with completely different players. So that's one thing you can do. Let's call this one FC, we'll just call that, and then we'll call this one mine. All right, so we got the FC line, and then we got our lineup that it spit out. Now, Another thing that you can do, now I don't ever upload, I typically hand build if I'm doing less than 10 lineups, but if I'm doing a lot of lineups, I'll show you how I do my projections. So we've already got our names in here and we haven't changed this sheet, so we haven't resorted by any other tabs, so we know the names are going to be in order. So I like to take the projected minutes in this column times the fantasy points per minute over the last 5. The reason is if normal projections are going to use for the year or career, whatever it is, the last 5 is going to get the players that are hot. It's going to bump them up. The players that are cold, it's going to bump them down. So let's see what that looks like. So just so I can do one, I'm going to go from the projected minutes over to fantasy points per minute last 5. So we know the far left column is our projected minutes, far right column is our fantasy point per minute last 5. And then I'm just going to delete out the middle one. So I'm just going to go Control C for copy. Come over here. We're going to go to paste. We're going to go paste values. We're going to go to the middle one. Now we know we want this column and this column. Easiest thing to do, just delete the middle ones. All right, simple enough. Now we got our projected minutes, and then we have our fantasy points per minute over the last 5. So we want to multiply these 2 columns. So I want to put my projections right next to the names. So I'm just going to highlight this, right click, and go to Insert. This is just going to add a column for us. So now we're going to have our names and our new projections right next to each other. Now, if you're not familiar with Excel, C and D, E, these are columns, and then the numbers are the rows. So like this is C1, C2, C3. Hopefully you understand a little bit about Excel if you're doing this. And then if you do a formula, it always has to begin with an equal sign. So we're just going to do equal C1 times D1. Just a basic little dot times dot. All right, I'm going to shrink this column and center it so it's a little easier to see for the video. Now, once you have this, you can see C1 times D1. If you click here, it will highlight the ones you're multiplying. So we know that's right. Now, when you click in this box, you see on this bottom right-hand corner here is like a dark square. When you hover over it, you see your mouse change to a plus sign, or I guess a bolded plus sign. Click on that, and when you have that plus sign, drag it down. This is just going to pull the formula down all the way. Now you can see it gives us our new projections. Now if you want to double check it, let's take row 15. We're going to click in here, and we're going to go up top and just click in there. And it says, okay, C15 times D15. Okay, that's perfect. The common error I see people run into is they'll get off one row. So like in B15, this column, it will be pulling C14, D14. That happens a lot if you've got headers and you're going quick and you mistype it. But go ahead and click enter. So we've got our new projections here. Name projection, highlight the 2 columns. We're going to do Control C. We're going to come back over here to Cruncher. We're going to go to upload data. And I'm going to go ahead and delete these out so we can put in our new ones. And we're going to do Control V, paste them in there, upload. Okay, we got our new projections in. Now you can see a lot of them are the same. Some are a little bit different. It bumped up a few players. Like now it bumped Reggie Jackson way up. And in Cruncher, you can click on the name and kind of see what they're doing. In our chat group, you'll see me share a lot of screenshots like, oh, this guy's been on fire. So he got that start last time with Paul George and Kawhi out, and he put up 46 points, and you can see what his salary was. It was $6,800 for 7x value. So his fantasy points per minute over the last 5 is going to skyrocket based on that. Now these games, he didn't play that many minutes, so this one's really pumping it up. So if he gets the start tonight, he could be a good play. And you can come over here and sort this again, and it'll put some new ones up there. And then let's go ahead. We're going to calculate one lineup off our new projections and see what it does. All right, so now we've got Jackson, Man. It's similar to what we had before. So let me put these 2 side by side so you can just kind of see how they're changing a little bit. All right, and so this was our other one. All right, so you can see our new in it put Terrence Mann in there with Reggie Jackson. This one had Simmons. They both had Derrick Jones. This one went Batum. So you can see it's mixing it up a little bit. It's giving you a different lineup. So that's just some different perspective to do. And so it's real simple to upload these projections, long story short. And I want to show you just a couple of tricks. If you've never used Cruncher or you do subscribe to them, up here under Advanced Options, click that. The 2 tabs you're going to use for basketball are going to be General and then you can do groups, and I'll show you groups real quick. Here, the main thing you want to look at is unique players per lineup. So if you run 20 lineups and you have one, you're going to get 7 of the 8 guys the same, and it'll flip 1 guy. If you want them to flip 2 guys, pick 2, 3 guys, pick 3. Typically, I lower my player pool, and then I run it, and I see how many different variations I get. Salary min-max, that's obvious. Flex position, I really only use that for football. I don't use it a lot here. And then the global exposure setting. I do 50% when I start running it a lot of times. You can do 50, 80, 20. If you have a player pool of 30 and you run it and it only uses 12 players, then lower this number down to 50, and then maybe it'll jump up and use 20 of the 30 and just kind of play with it until you get to where you're comfortable. Randomness, typically I'll put on like 5%. The only thing that's going to do is if you've got a guy that's projected at 5.6x and then another guy at 5.5x, it's never going to put the 5.5x guy. If he's not getting in there, if you change randomness, he'll make it into a couple of lineups and help you out. The biggest thing I want to do is player max from each team 6. So for NBA, I recommend doing 2 on a bigger slate or 3 on a smaller slate. So tonight's a 4-game slate. 3 max is about the most you want to have in NBA. And the reason is, let me see if I've got this sheet over. You rarely have more than 2 or 3 people explode. So I'm going to filter this out. Let me drag it over so you can see it. And so let's just look at some teams. So these are some past games. Let's take Golden State, for example. So this is a game, this is a game, this is a game. And you can see, so the red, these are 6x value on their current salary. So you can see Golden State had 4 this game. That's phenomenal. That's rare. And then there were 2 players here, 1 player, 2 player, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And then Golden State's kind of a rare team. Let's look at a couple others. So we go here to Detroit and we see 1, 1, 3, 1, 3. Had 4 that day. And then 3, 3. So Detroit, they're typically priced down a little bit more so you get some more value. But if you come over here, Phoenix is one that pops a lot. So you can see 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So you kind of get an idea. Like 2 to 3 is about the most you're going to see that are going to hit 6x or more in a given night. So that's just one thing that I wanted to show you real quick. So where did our cruncher page go? So over here, do 2 or do 3 max. The only exception to this, one thing that I love to do is if a bunch of people are out and you see a starting lineup and they are dirt cheap, and like on DraftKings, you can put all 5 of the starters in, or 4 of the 5 if there's a dud in there I don't mind throwing out, and it will leave you around $7,000 per player or more for the last 3 guys. That's a fun lineup to throw and double up. So I posted a screenshot last week. I think it was last Sunday. I was watching football. I was not going to play any NBA DFS, and I was sitting on the couch and I saw, I can't remember the game. I think it was Toronto. They had 5 guys in their starting lineup that was dirt cheap. So I did a lineup with 4 of the 5. There was one guy, I think it was Stanley Johnson. I can't remember. But he was a complete scrub, so I threw him out. And I had like $7,200 for 4 players. So I got 3 studs and a value guy in there. Just threw it in a $5 single entry GPP at the last minute. Got third. It only paid $85, but I mean, it's a good bankroll builder. And then I put it in a double up and got first in the double up. So that is the only exception, is if you can get the entire starting lineup or 4 of the 5 in dirt cheap and then basically put studs in all the other positions. But anyways, I hope this video helps. If you guys have any other questions, if you guys want to see a quick video, if there's something you don't understand, feel free to message me. If I can make a video or explain it a little bit better, I'm happy to do so, because if you have that question, it's likely other people also have that question. And if you ever want to play with our NBA cheat sheet, if you're not part of our group, we do have a free group on Facebook where I post the sheets on Thursdays. I'll put the link in the description. And then our premium group is dirt cheap. It's $13 a month or $35 for 3 months. And we post the sheet every day, twice a day, once in the morning. We update it before lock. And then we've got a Facebook chat group. So I hope this helps. Good luck, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll talk to you soon.